so much, like you feel so much purpose when kids come to you and then they find like they trust you enough to tell you what they need and like the kind of things they're facing.
Welcome to Real Life Stories with Real Life Leaders. I'm Divya Sharma.
And I'm Nolan Bicknell. Welcome to the show, and thank you for listening and thank you for watching. Real Life Stories with Real Life Leaders is highlighting stories from some incredible storytellers connected through the CanU program. They're all emerging leaders in as many different sectors in our cities.
Speaking of different sectors in our cities, CanU and the Winnipeg Foundation both thrive in the philanthropic sector in Winnipeg. And I was thankful enough to be a part of CanU since I came to Canada in grade 5. And today I'm thankful to be a university mentor, helping students whose shoes I was once in. I was also part of the Youth and Philanthropy program, which we'll be chatting a little bit more about in this episode through the Winnipeg Foundation, and I did the summer internship program. Both of these organizations were crucial in fostering my foundations and several other young leaders and emerging leaders and all types of leaders. So today we'll be having a conversation with one of the 6 leaders that we'll be interviewing, and our guest storyteller today is Ama. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. My name is Ama from Poma Apiaba, and I'm 16. And yeah, here's
Welcome to the show, Ama. So we're asking everyone the first question, what is your story? How do you answer that question when someone asks what your story is?
Oh, my story. Okay. Well, I came to Canada in 2019, in November of 2019. And before that, I lived in Ghana, so I'm Ghanaian. And in Ghana, things were hard, like every other third world country. Things are hard for people. And as a kid, I found that I got sick a lot. So that was like a big part of my childhood, because I would spend like a third of my life in the hospital because I'll be sick, and then my mom will have to take me to the hospital. And she's a nurse, so when she takes me, I get to live there for a while, stay there while she's working, which was kind of like a good experience, but also you get to see lots of things. So I got to see lots of other sick children and lots of other sick people and mothers with like crying babies in their arms and just wondering what is going to happen to these people, because I already got my care and like, why are they still in line? What is happening? Why is this not working out? So yeah, that led me to think, why not become a doctor? Because then you can help these people. You can actually make a difference in their lives. So then I decided I'm going to help kids, because at that time I was a kid. And it's just like a really big thing when you get to have an impact on kids, because they're growing up. And so you get to have like more of a permanent etch on their minds, because then they remember the kind of person that helped them and who they want to become.
My mom is a nurse too, so very interesting. When did you know that you wanted to be this? Because that's such a strong and difficult path, becoming a doctor. A lot of education, a lot of time. So did you just know from the get-go that you were going to do this, or when did that start?
Well, even before I started to get sick, like it was just that thing in Ghana. You grow up, you want to become a doctor, because then people are like, you're smart, so you should be a doctor. But then I realized, okay, I can't just become a doctor. So that was when I got to, I think grade 7. I was about 10 at the time. So yeah, I decided, okay, this needs to actually be, like there needs to be a reason for me to be inspired to become a doctor, because it's a really hard thing to be a doctor. You need to study a lot, like invest so much more time in school to do that. So yeah.
That's amazing. I think it takes a lot of resilience to recognize that at such a young age, and that spirit of helping, once again, coming back to why we're doing this, that philanthropic side of things, and really honing in on that. Yeah. So I'm wondering, Ama, what other program were you involved with? And I'm going to give you a little hint, Youth and Philanthropy. How, I know that in several of your years, we helped a lot of organizations. That's a big part of Youth and Philanthropy, being able to give to, organizations that are doing that good in Winnipeg. So what was your experience like in the Youth and Philanthropy program? And could you talk a little bit about what organization you specifically researched and donated to?
Okay. So I joined Youth and Philanthropy program in grade 10 when I went to FRC. So in grade 10, I learned about this program. I learned they get to give money to charities, and a big part of my identity is giving to people, like always getting to give back to people and make an impact. So then I decided to join Youth in Philanthropy, and I partnered with Selena Cassiano, one of my very good friends, and we researched Healthy Start for Mom and Me. So that was the first organization we donated to with the help of the Winnipeg Foundation. And Healthy Start for Mom and Me is a charity organization that helps nursing mothers, like new mothers, take care of their babies. So they have dietitians, they have trained nurses, they have good healthcare professionals that help mothers learn how to take care of their babies, especially mothers coming from different places, so international mothers, so refugees and just immigrants as a whole. And this year I donated to Needs Incorporated. So Needs also helps immigrants and refugees get incorporated into the Canadian system. So it helps kids get adjusted to the Canadian education system because they have like classrooms where they get to teach them English and like the different kinds of things they'll be learning in schools. And then they also have like good programs where they get to the kids get to start working, so they have employment for the kids, which is a really nice thing, I find. And surprisingly, last year my mom gave birth, so I have a baby sister now, and she went to Healthy Start for Mom and Me, so it was just like, wow, this was really helpful. Like, she was getting so much from this organization. They gave her like formula, they gave her diapers, even though she didn't really need it, but then they just had all those resources in store for mothers whenever they wanted it.
Yeah, just having enough is so important for a new mother or a second or third time mother as well. Exactly. Absolutely. Maybe just pardon my ignorance here, but what is the philanthropic situation in Ghana versus Canada? Like, is there the same amount of kind of charities and charity work, or is it a different system? Can you just talk about the differences a little bit for me?
Yes, it's a completely different system. Like, I don't think in Ghana there's like an organization where you can just join and they would help you like identify charities to give money to. No, it's just like most of the people who do philanthropic work are like mostly the rich people, so people who have a lot of money and they do it so they have like recognition on the TV. So then it's not something I really saw myself doing till I got here and had the opportunity through the Winnipeg Foundation and Youth in Philanthropy.
Very cool. Yeah. So like, talk about a little bit about some of the skills that CanU and just your work in general has given you to become a young leader and a future leader and an emerging leader, as we've been saying. Like, what are some skills that you've been working on, and what are some skills that you want to improve on to make yourself more of a leader?
So some skills I've been working on with CanU are public speaking. And another thing is also learning how to work with kids, mentoring the kids. So I volunteered for the grade 5 and 6 program for the last school year, which was really insightful and seeing how kids actually behave, because I want to become a pediatrician. So it's like a first-hand experience to see like, ooh, these are the kinds of people I want to deal with. Like,
they didn't
do I really
you?
want to do this for my life? And I was like, yes, I do.
Good.
Like, they could be loud and all of that, but then it's just so much, like, you feel so much purpose when kids come to you and then they find, like, they trust you enough to tell you what they need and, like, the kind of things they're facing. And another thing CanU has taught me is to be open-minded, to be open to opportunities. So, like, public speaking is not something I ever thought I would do. Like, I just want to become a doctor, right? So CanU had this storytelling experience, and I decided to say yes to that and be part of the storytelling experience, and I haven't regretted ever doing that. And they also have like different programs like coding and like other things which I wouldn't necessarily see myself doing without being part of CanU. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, things really do come full circle from, donating to an organization, then, helping with that. And then also the fact that you wanted to, become a doctor, and now you're influencing that field in some sort of way. And then the whole public speaking when you never thought you would do it, and then you spoke at a gala. Like, that's really incredible. That all demonstrates leadership. So what does being a leader mean to you?
To me, being a leader means being able to make an impact on others, being able to have like an opportunity to make a difference in the lives of others, so that when someone mentions your name, they're like, oh, this person, she helped me do this. Oh, she's the best person you could be with. Like, even in a team, like in school, you're doing a project with people. It's that kind of feeling where no one feels like they're being forced to work on the project. You all just work together because you have such an amazing person leading you.
Wow.
Did you, so we've been talking a little bit about mentorship as well on this show. Who are some of the mentors from your past and from your present that you can give a shout out to? And what do you think what are some of the most important personality traits to be a mentor?
Okay, so some people I would like give a shout out to are Roger Barrington, so the executive director of CanU, because he inspired me to do like the things I do today, to look to make a difference, because Roger is making a big difference in the lives of so many people in Canada, like Divya and then Selena and then myself.
For sure.
And it's like, it's so inspirational looking at him and just seeing like how far he has come. And also during the CanU summer experience last year, when I went for camp, I got to speak with Roger and like learn how CanU came to be. So it's such a story like of how he's been able to build resilience and like build such a great thing. Keeps me going.
Yeah.
And another person I would give a shout out to is Rob Gorbett. So I met him at Shad Waterloo, and Rob is like he's the best person you could ever be with, because Rob was very open. He's very vulnerable, which are traits you should find in every leader. Because if you're not able to show vulnerability to the people you're leading, there can't be any level of trust between you guys. And yeah, that's it.
So much wisdom. You said you're 16?
Yeah.
How did you get so wise? Where does that come from?
Oh, I think it's just the people around you, honestly, because if you surround yourself with people who are filled with wisdom, they impact you with more knowledge.
Very well said. Very wise, yes.
I can speak to that, Nolan. I mean, thank you for having us on the podcast. Leadership, mentorship, you're my mentor, and I see you as a leader.
Cheers.
Thank you. So, Amma, your story has been so impactful. In regards to, like, the people that are around you, I know you're, just finishing up high school in this upcoming year.
Yeah.
What do you hope to accomplish?
Okay, so, after high school this year, I'm looking to go into university and then just get a health sciences degree so I get on, like, the right path to becoming a pediatrician. And I also am looking forward to working on a passion project of mine. So I'm looking to do research into why there's scarcity of healthcare workers in Canada when there are so many immigrants who come as doctors and nurses, yet the Canadian system finds it so difficult to integrate them. So I'm looking to research what exactly is the problem and then see where I can go with that. Contact like some government officials and then get insights on what they think about these problems.
Such important work. Yeah, there's so many hoops to jump through for people to, even if they've been a practicing nurse or doctor in a different country for 10, 15, 20 years, they come to Canada and they have to start from scratch. And it's like, what are we doing here? There's so much talent and ability that's being squandered because of old rules that don't really make that much sense. Like, bodies are bodies. Being a doctor is being a doctor. Being a nurse is being a nurse. So bravo. Excellent idea. I look forward to, and I will support that work as much as I can. But what in the immediate future is, like, that's kind of a long-term goal. Obviously, graduating high school is an immediate goal, but like looking down what are you most looking forward to in the next year?
In the next year, I'm looking forward into going into university. Yeah. And then also being able to continue with my philanthropic work. Even without being a part of youth in philanthropy, I got to know about an organization called Rising Youth, I believe, and they give you grants based on whatever project you're working on. So I'm looking to apply again for another grant to work on a passion project of mine in Winnipeg.
So cool. Awesome.
I think that's incredible, Amma. I think it's incredible that we have leaders like you, especially in the field of STEAM, like you said, and you mentioned Shad, and, that whole spirit of looking at opportunities and seizing those possibilities and making that happen. That's the whole goal of CanU and the Winnipeg Foundation having that done. I think that's the outcome that we want in the philanthropic sector. So thank you for doing everything that you do.
Yes. Is there anything else that you'd like to add for our listeners about your story and about your connection with CanU and your connection with Winnipeg?
I'd just like to say that wherever you are, you should join CanU, like, in any way that you can. Even if you're not in in high school or even in elementary school and you want to join, you can be a mentor because CanU has like so much to give to everyone, no matter how old you are or how young you are. And also like to talk about SHAD. So
Please.
wherever you are, SHAD is a STEAM-led program, a STEAM and entrepreneurship program for grade 10s and 11s. And SHAD basically teaches you almost like the skills you need for life, especially life in university, because they have SHAD on campus, so you get to pick campuses of your choice. So I picked University of Waterloo as one of my top choices, and I got into Waterloo. And there I learned how to live with 53 other people in the same building and eat with them and do every single thing with them. And we built such a tight community. So, yes.
Community, that's what it's all about. Amma, thank you so much for being on the show, sharing your story with us, and just being one of our real life leaders with a real life story with real life leaders. Thanks so much.
Thank you too.
Jeez, mic drop again every time. Good job. That was so good.
good.
Yeah, I think it would be good if we
Real Life Stories with Real Life Leaders is recorded live in the CJNU studios in downtown Winnipeg. Produced in partnership with the Winnipeg Foundation and CanU Canada, Real Life Stories with Real Life Leaders is hosted by Nolan Bicknell and Divya Sharma. Production help from Daniel Reimer. If you'd like to hear more about CanU Canada and the work they do in Winnipeg, please visit canucanada.org. And if you'd like to hear more stories from emerging leaders in our city at the CanU Stories Gala, visit canucanada.org/storiesgala. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.